You've heard of matchmaking apps for finding true love. Well, now there's an app that matches expectant moms with adoptive parents based on personality traits. So I talked with the Bainbridge Island mom behind a first of its kind digital adoption platform called Pear Tree. Check it out.
Pear Tree is an adoption platform that helps families navigate their own journey through adoption. So when you don't have to use an agency, you can build your own team. And so Pear Tree is an adoption platform that literally helps families navigate from this point of I'm interested in adoption to that adopted child is now 18 years old.
You are a two-time adoptive parent. What did you notice about the adoption process and why did you decide you wanted to help improve it?
We came to the world of adoption, I think very similarly to the way that most of our families find their way to adoption. We'd gone through years and thousands of dollars in IVF. And after my third miscarriage, I was like, I just can't do it anymore. I just felt broken emotionally and physically and financially. And so we jumped into the world of adoption and we were floored at how expensive it is. It's $40,000 to $60,000 to adopt an infant on average in the US. And it takes on average 18 to 24 months. And so because we'd spent so much money in reproductive technology, we're kind of forced to find another way. And so we luckily had some friends tell us about this method called self-matching. We call it self-navigating at Pear Tree. But it's the process of being approved to adopt, connecting with an expectant mom, and then finalizing adoption with your own team.
Can you kind of talk about how parents can, when you say build this team, how does that help the entire process overall, especially on the emotions of the parent who's adopting?
Yeah, I mean, I think the processes are always going to be incredibly emotional. There's no way around that. And they're heavy processes too, not bad, but emotionally heavy. And so I think for us, it's one of the things that I noticed when we were going through our own journey was there's so many logistics and hoops. And I thought, I mean, it's very regulated, but it still felt like the Wild West. And so the goal of Pear Tree is to help add some structure so that families can focus on the really important parts. In Washington State, we're really lucky that we can build our own team. So that means connecting with a social worker to be approved to adopt, and then connecting with an expectant mom, and then hiring an adoption attorney in Washington to finalize the process for you.
And to have something like Pear Tree to kind of help assist people, right? Like you're guiding them, and you've been up and running for a year now. How many matches have you made?
Yeah, so we know of 20. We keep talking to people and hearing about more, but we for sure know about 20 in the first year, which is a very big deal because that's more than a lot of other agencies or professionals see.
Well, when we started talking, we talked kind of about personality-based work. How does that go into Pear Tree?
Yeah, so one of our primary services is called Pear Tree Matching. And when we were doing research with expectant moms, we found that they all they didn't just want pretty pictures and words on an online profile. They wanted to know more meaty information about the families. And so we started experimenting with personality-based matching, and it took off. And now it's the number one thing that expectant moms ask for. It's very similar for anybody that remembers eHarmony. It's similar in terms of, so adoptive families, when they register on Pear Tree, they go through a personality quiz, and that classifies them as one of 12 major personality types. And then when expectant moms register or embryo donors register on the site, they pick the personalities that they're most drawn to. And that's how kind of the first level of matching works. And then they can search by anything else that's important to them, whether it's location or education, age, everything down to even political affiliation to help sort that out.
Before I let you go, I just wanted to ask about Seth and Barrett. Can you tell us about their journey?
Yeah, so Seth and Barrett came to us. It's an interesting point to make because we have to see a lot of families go through this. They came to us and they registered on Pear Tree at the same time that they registered with an agency. And within 10 days on Pear Tree, they had connected with an expectant mom in the Midwest. And she was around 6 months when they connected with one another, but they had a few months to get to know each other and decide what their journey was going to be like, flew out there for the birth. And now they are extremely connected. I think most 90% of adoptions are open now, but I think Seth and Barrett have taken open to a completely new level with their birth mom and little boy.
I love it. You know, it sounds to me, Erin, like you created a very organic process for something that can be so emotional, so heavy, but so wonderful all the same. Thank you for sharing Pear Tree with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.